You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports fans, we've actually made a few videos about today's topic when it actually comes to protecting women's sports. Biological males competing against biological women in sports. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys actually know where we actually stand on this. I believe that there's a reason why we actually have, like men's tennis versus women's tennis. Males, biological males have a physical advantage over females. We just do. I mean, Serena Williams even said herself, and she's an all-time great female tennis player. She even said it herself, there's no way in hell she can actually compete against men. I believe she actually said that she couldn't even beat the 1200 ranked men's player in the world because there's a physical advantage, and Serena Williams herself is a very, very strong female. Okay. But however, none of this has actually stopped the Olympics now from going woke because they are allowing now a biological male who now identifies as a woman to compete as a woman against women. And folks, this I believe is very, very unfair. And for one thing also, this Olympic sport is actually going to be weightlifting. Now, you would actually think that when it comes to an Olympic sport, that definitely probably should be separated by your biological sex. Weightlifting would probably be right at the top. But oh no, they're going to allow a biological male to compete against women. All because this is what woke sports is at this point. Now, here in the United States, we've actually seen states actually ban biological males from competing against biological females because I believe in actually fair, equal competition. And you can't get fair and equal competition if you have a biological man competing against biological females. We've seen what has actually happened when you allow biological men to compete on the track field. They break every female record. It is not fair whatsoever. We're supposed to be all about, female empowerment, but truly it's not about that. Because to the woke sports media out there and the woke media in general, the woke people out there in general, I believe they're actually trying to go out and attack women's sports with this. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead. Let's dive over here and look at this. New Zealand weightlifter to become first trans athlete to compete in Olympics. And this female athlete is going to be Laurel Hubbard, biological man who identifies as a female. And now we'll be competing against biological females. It says here, a New Zealand woman has become the first transgender athlete to be selected to compete in the Olympics, a decision that is expected to launch debate about gender identity in sports. Weightlifter Laurel Hubbard, age 43, who was born male but transitioned to female, was picked to participate in the upcoming Summer Games in Tokyo, New Zealand Olympic Committee Chief Karen Smith said in a Monday statement. Quote, "We acknowledge that gender identity in sports is a highly sensitive and complex issue requiring a balance between human rights and fairness on the field of play," Smith said in a statement. As the New Zealand team, we have a strong culture of manaki, I guess that's the way you pronounce it, which means caring, and inclusion and respect for all. Really? You say you have respect for all, but what about the biological women that are going to feel like they're at a disadvantage because they're competing in weightlifting against a biological man? I mean, if you actually look at the physical structure of Laurel Hubbard here, Laurel Hubbard really does look like a biological man. I mean, even when you transition, your bone structure doesn't change. Your chromosomes don't change. Now, We do know that Laurel Hubbard had to lower the testosterone levels. But man, if you are a female and you know that you have to compete against Laurel Hubbard, how would you actually feel about this? Would you feel like this is completely unfair? There's no way I can win. Look at how physically dominating Laurel Hubbard looks. Think about this. This is not fair whatsoever. But the Olympics are going to allow this. The Olympics are going to allow this. It says here, Hubbard transitioned in her 30s and had previously competed as a male weightlifter. She became eligible to lift in the Olympics as a woman after her testosterone levels dropped below a certain required threshold. Now, folks, Laurel Hubbard has actually been competing against biological females back in 2019. And look, this is from 2019. Transgender weightlifter Laurel Hubbard's gold medal sparks fierce debate. Laurel Hubbard won a gold medal in 2019 competing against biological females. Complete and utter unfairness. And it says here in this article from 2019, transgender weightlifter Laurel Hubbard's gold medal winning performance at the Pacific Games continues to reverberate long after the event, with a New Zealand women's group demanding sports authorities put a stop to, quote, unfair competition. And apparently this is falling on deaf ears 2 years later, as Laurel Hubbard now will be competing against biological females. And this is what Laurel Hubbard actually had to say. Quote, and this is from 2021 here, about being selected to the Olympics. Quote, I am grateful and humbled by the kindness and support that has been given to me by so many New Zealanders. Your support, your encouragement, and your aroha, which I guess means love, carried me through the darkness, Hubbard said in a statement. Critics of Hubbard have argued she has unfair advantage competing against other women. Former teammate Tracy Lambreach said in an interview last month that many fellow female weightlifters have concerns that are being ignored. This is not surprising. Quote, I've had female weightlifters come up to me and say, this isn't fair. What can we do? She told broadcaster TVNZ. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do because every time we voice concerns, we get told to be quiet. Not surprising whatsoever. Why is this being allowed to happen? Why is female sports under attack? Why? I believe personally, if they want to allow this to happen, they should just have a transgender category where transgenders just compete against other transgenders when it comes to sports. I believe that would be pretty fair. I really, really do. If you're a trans woman, compete against trans women. If you're a trans male, compete against other trans males. But no, we know that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. This is an agenda, and it's getting pushed out there. And biological females are going to pay the price for this. This needs to be stopped. It really, really does need to be stopped. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this, black and white sports fans? This is completely unfair, guys. Completely unfair. But there's nothing nobody can do about it. Laurel Hubbard will be competing at the Tokyo Olympics this summer. And I feel bad for the females that are going to be competing against Laurel Hubbard because it's just completely unfair. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans. Wow. Unbelievable. Let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Sports. and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.